Hello everyone, episode 14, day 7 of most expected topics for Prelims 2020. Today I am going to discuss the topic 66 to 70, mob lynching. Mob lynching is a topic which I am going to discuss now. So nowadays, the issue of mob lynching is becoming very serious. A group of people coming or beating a particular individual or killing a particular individual based upon the race, religion, caste. It's becoming a common phenomenon since last few years. So, how to control this mob lynching? Is there any state made any law for this mob lynching? Is it at central level? Is there any law to control the mob lynching? How to regulate this mob lynching? We will be discussing now. The spate of individuals of lynching over the past few years has led to heightened sense of insecurity among the marginalized communities. Lynching is carried in the name of religion or because of the spread of rumors. So it's become a very common phenomenon. In this context, the Supreme Court in 2018 described lynching as a horrendous act of mobocracy and laid down guidelines for the center and state governments to frame laws specifically to deal with the crime of lynching. In pursuance of this, the Manipur government came up first with its law against lynching in 2018. So, prelims point of view, what is important is, which is the first state came with mob lynching act? Manipur is the first state against mob lynching. Manipur law is in synchronization with Supreme Court guidelines. The Manipur law defined mob lynching as any act or series of acts of violence or aiding, abating such acts thereof, whether spontaneous or planned, by a mob on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex, place of birth, language, dietary practices, sexual orientation, political affiliation, ethnicity, or any other related grounds. If there is any such act, it is called as mob lynching. The law specified that there would be nodal officers in each district to control such crimes. So now onwards, there will be one model answers. There will be one model nodal officers. Equally path-breaking is that it removes the protection that is otherwise extended to public officials charged with any offence committed while acting in their discharge of official duty. The law clearly lays down the duty and responsibility of the state governments to make arrangements for the protection of victims and witnesses against any kind of intimidation, coercion, inducement, violence or threats of violence. It also prescribes the duty of state officials to prevent a hostile environment against people of the community who have been lynched, which includes economic and social boycott. The law requires the state to formulate a scheme for relief camps and rehabilitation in case of displacement of victims and death compensation. This is significant as in most cases of lynching, it is found that states have only criminalized the victims, never supported the survivors who live not just in loss and fear. Inspired by this, Rajasthan and West Bengal have formulated their versions of laws to curb mob lynching. So, prelims point of view, what you need to understand means, mob lynching, the first state who made the law is Manipur, and on the same lines, the rest of the two states which made the laws is Rajasthan and West Bengal. More other states need to be made, but no other state made till now. This is about the mob lynching. And the next topic is panchayat raj institutions. So, it's nearly 28 years the Panchayati Raj institution has been institutionalized in India through the acts called as 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. Panchayati Raj institution is exclusively 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, whereas urban local bodies is 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, which is having 3 tiers at gram level, village level, gram panchayat, at block level, panchayat samiti, at district level, village parishad. This is the structure of Panchayat Raj institution in India. So 3 tier. So there are some conditions. 3 tier where, 2 tier where, that we will be discussing now. Panchayat Raj institution is a system of rural local self-government in India. Local self-government is the management of local affairs by such local bodies who have been elected by the local people. Panchayat Raj institution was constitutionalized to the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act 1992 to build a democracy at the grassroots level and was entrusted with the task of rural development in the country. In its present form and structure, Panchayat Raj institution has completed 28 years of existence, structured. That means village level, block level, district level. This amendments added two new parts to the constitution, namely Part 9 titled the Panchayats 73rd, Part 9A the municipalities 74th. Basic units of democratic systems are Grama Sabhas, ward committees for municipalities, comprising all the adult members registered as voters who are called as electoral college. Three-tier system of panchayat at village level, intermediate, block, taluk, mandal level second one and district level in third level, except in those states with population is below 20 lakhs. So wherever the population is about 20 lakhs, there will be three-tier system. But wherever the population is below 20 lakhs, there is only two levels of tiers. Compulsory, every year there will be one question from Indian polity and Indian governance with respect to 73rd and 74th Constitutional Amendment Act, not only in prelims, mains also. You have to have a special focus on these topics. And the seats at all levels to be filled by the direct elections. There will be direct elections as per the Article 243C Clause 2. Seats reserved for SCs and STs, and the chairpersons of the panchayats at all levels shall have reserved for SCs and STs. 1/3 of the total seats to be reserved for women, and 1/3 of the seats reserved for SCs and STs also reserved for women. That means within the SCs and STs, and that seats 1/3 should be women. 1/3 office of the chairpersons at all levels reserved for women, at chairpersons also. SCs, STs reservations are there. Within the SCs and within the STs there will be women reservations as well. Uniform 5-year term and elections to constitute new bodies to be completed before the expiry of the term. In the event of dissolution, elections compulsorily within 6 months. Independent Election Commission in each state for superintendence, a direction and control of the electoral rules under Article 243K. The elections for Panchayat Raj institutions will be under Article 243K. Whereas 74th Amendment provides for District Planning Committee. This is the previous question, District Planning Committee is present in 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act or 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. It is 74th Constitutional Amendment Act. So District Planning Committee is exclusively present in 74th. To consolidate the plans prepared by the panchayats and municipalities, establish a finance commission in each state to determine the principles on the basis of which adequate financial resources would be ensured for panchayats and municipalities. The 11th schedule of the constitution places as many as 29 functions within the purview of Panchayat Raj institutions. So this is what it is there. So 73rd and 74th, my dear students, compulsory read properly 73rd and 74th. One question is expected, sometimes two as well. Next, powers of governors and lieutenant governor. So what are the powers of governors in states? What are the powers of lieutenant governors in Delhi and Andaman Nicobar Islands? Governor is appointed under Article 153. Governor is the constitutional head of the state. Yes, we know that. Article 153, 167 of Indian Constitution deals with state executive. Governor plus chief minister plus council of ministers plus advocate general of the state. So remember that advocate general of the state will also be called as state executive. Remember this. The state executive, advocate general of the state is also part of state executive. How parliament means Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and president. Executive of the state means governor, chief minister, council of ministers plus advocate general of India. States have their own government. Governors works as per the advice of the council of ministers. So what you need to remember here is the state governors work according to the advice of the council of ministers, which is predetermined in the constitution as well as in the respective judgments of the Honorable Supreme Court. Whereas lieutenant governor, as per the Article 239, every union territory in India shall be administered by the president through an administrator to be appointed by him. It is called as lieutenant governor. Some people will be calling it as lieutenant governor. In Andaman Nicobar Islands, Puducherry and Delhi, in 3 places. Lieutenant governor is an administrator and not a constitutional head. It is not a constitutional head, it is just a administrator. That you need to remember. Whereas governor of the state is the constitutional head. Article 239 to 241 deals with union territories. Union territories are directly governed by the central government, union. In this regard, the Supreme Court in 2017 said that Lieutenant Governor of Delhi has more power than Governor of any state. He doesn't have to listen to the Council of Ministers. This is the one judgment you have to remember. That is, the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi has more power than the Governor of any state. He doesn't have to listen to the Council of Ministers. That means he can have his discretionary role as per the advice of Central Council of Ministers, but not State Council of Ministers headed by Chief Minister. This is very important point which you need to note it down. 69th topic is amalgamation of national banks. Yes, consolidation of national banks is going on. Public sector undertakings, public sector banks amalgamation is going on. The finance minister has announced the biggest consolidation plan of public sector banks, merging 10 of them into just 4. The total number of public sector banks after consolidation has come down to 12 from 27 in 2017. The earlier mergers were Vijaya Bank and Dena Bank with Bank of Baroda, which is effective from April 1, 2019. State Bank of India absorbed 5 of its associates and Bharatiya Mahila Bank in 2017. So, what is this benefits of merger? What is this benefits of merger? Competitive. The consolidation of public sector banks helps in strengthening its presence globally, nationally and regionally. Why? Because now onwards there will be large banks which are called as large banks. So, these banks will become competitive globally, nationally and regionally. The capital and governance. The government's intention is not just to give capital but also give good governance. Good governance is the buzzword of 21st century. Hence, post-consolidation boards will be given the flexibility to introduce a chief general manager level as per business needs. They will also recruit chief risk officer at market-linked compensation to attract the best talent. Efficiency. It has a potential to reduce operational costs due to the presence of shared overlapping networks, and this enhanced operational efficiency will reduce the lending cost of the banks. So, what? There will be effectiveness, there will be efficiency, the bank base will increase, number of branches will increase, so that approach towards the customers will increase, as well as the risk of NPAs will decrease, as well as the good recruitment happens, the talent people will be coming into it, and the control of the government on the banks will also be easy. Why? Because we will be having a handy number of large banks. Self-sufficiency. Larger banks have a better ability to raise resources from the market rather than relying on state exchequer. Why? Because now they are large banks. Now they can raise funds from the market through bonds, etc. The loan tracking mechanism in public sector undertaking banks is being improved for the benefit of customers. With the number of public sector banks coming down after the process of merger, capital allocation, performance milestones and monitoring would become easier for the government. These are the advantages of mergers. There is a concept called as CBS, Core Banking Solutions, which means information communication technology has been integrated with the banking structure, that is called as CBS. Can be defined as a solution that enables banks to offer a multitude of customer-centric services on a 24/7 basis from a single location, supporting retail as well as corporate banking activities. The centralization thus makes a one-stop shop for financial services a reality. Using core banking solutions, customers can access their accounts from any branch, anywhere, irrespective of where they have physically opened their accounts. The customer is no more the customer of a branch. He became the bank's customer now. So, he is the customer of the total bank. Now, he is not the customer of the branch. So, these are the advantages. Why? Because mergers are happening, core banking solutions happen, large banks established, the target of NPAs need to be reduced. These all things will be happening by this consolidation of banks. Heat wave. Odisha State Disaster Management Authority had issued a heat wave warning to most of the districts in the Odisha state. Temperature rises above 45 degrees in some isolated pockets of Vidarbha in Maharashtra, Telangana state, Andhra Pradesh and Odisha during this week because of the summer season. The deficit in monsoon and post-monsoon rainfalls and the intense summer heat have resulted in an acute water shortage in both Vidarbha and the neighboring Marathwada region. What is this heat wave? A heat wave is a period of abnormally high temperatures, more than the normal maximum temperature, that occurs during the summer season in the northwestern and south central parts of India. Heat waves typically occurs between the March and June, and in some rare cases even extend till July. The extreme temperatures and resultant atmospheric conditions adversely affect people living in these regions, as they cause physiological stress, sometimes resulting in death. That is the problem of heat wave. Remember, compulsory one question or two question will be from disaster management. So one topic we can expect is this. Two questions we can expect, one or two questions we can expect from COVID or some disasters like heat waves. Heat impacts of heat waves. What will happen? The heat impacts of heat waves, the health impacts of heat waves typically involve dehydration, heat cramps, heat exhaustion, heat stroke or sunstroke. The signs and symptoms are as follows. Heat cramps means swelling, fainting, generally accompanied by fever below 102 degrees Fahrenheit. Heat exhaustion, fatigue, weakness, dizziness, headache, nausea, vomiting, muscle cramps and sweating. Heat stroke, body temperature of 40 degrees centigrade, that is 104 degree Fahrenheit or more, along with delirium, seizures or coma. This is potentially fatal condition, heat stroke. So to all this, to give the early warning system, Indian Meteorological Department will be working. It is established in the year 1875, working under the Ministry of Earth Sciences and Government of India. It is a principal agency responsible for meteorological observations, weather forecasting and seismology. So thank you, my dear friends. Subscribe to my channel, and tomorrow I will come with another episode. Thank you.